What is an artist? To me, an artist is somebody who knows how to interpret some of the things ngendlela yakhe, azimolde and shape them ngendlela ezobonisa abantu in a way that other people mabibona art, they don't know how to explain. Like for instance, there is an abstract. How many people would read it? 50 million people would read it, but the interpretation will be totally different. So an artist is a person who gives a feel on something that he understands better than other people. Yes, that's me. An artist is an interpreter. An artist is somebody. An artist is like an artist is a prophet. He can foresee after a certain situation. He can foresee what is going to happen. He knows the results of each and everything that is placed by God in life. He actually intends to find a meaning of why is that thing standing there.
Okay, what is your definition of a celebrity?
Well, the definition of celebrity is something that we got from America. I don't want to lie. And all the European states. Like for instance, we've got people like Abu Schwarzenegger and all that. But I'll tell you one thing, this celebrity thing comes from white people. It's a white thing, which is why a black person is not called a celebrity. You've never heard of Zakes Mokai being called a celebrity. But that father is an actor. We are fathers, we're family men, we're not celebrities. Celebrities, you only find them in Hollywood, where there is a specific place which is meant for artists, where they live their own life, they spend their own money however they want, and it's all about standard. We remember very well, we have a different vocabulary compared to America. Celebrate because at the moment I'm walking and I'm using taxis to go home, and people in the taxis ask me, why a celebrity is he with us in the taxis? And I say, no, I'm a human being. And they expect that if you are a celebrity, you must drive a 645i or a 4x4 so that they can say, they're earning so much. No, it's not all about that. If you don't want that, you don't want it, and that's it. But man, all that makes me happy is my craft. As long as I've delivered with conviction, then that's it, thank you. The rest that people say, I care less.
Why South African artists are not recognized professionally?
South African artists are not recognized professionally because they do not behave professionally. Actually, I shouldn't say they, I should say we do not behave professionally, because the word professional, I do not understand up to so far. Because I've started in the township. I've started acting in 1984 in the township, and they regard that as non-professional. Only when you come to town in the city or market theater or start to act in the Johannesburg civic theaters, then they would start saying, no, you're a professional just because you are seen by white people. To me, that is totally wrong. A professional begins as soon as you start performing in front of people, then you are a professional. So that word has created a confusion, and unfortunately most of the oncoming generations and some of us are following in that trend, and that's very wrong. Let's create our own language and know what a person is a professional from the day one as start. Okay, for the fact that there is that kind of discipline in doing things, that person is professional. Once you have that kind of discipline, okay, I am doing this thing. Now, the preparation and say, okay, I'm into this, the commitment, then that's professionalism.
So tell me, do you feel, and Josh, our legends and our icons of theatre are being appreciated?
Our legends and one of the greatest people, actually not one, we've got lots of greatest artists in this country. Our problem is we don't know their works. Their works are not done. Like for instance, we've had cases whereby John Kanye and Winston Chona redo the shows for us to know them. And I believe we need to update the oncoming generations about our skills, because I do not mind. I'm still going to perform for kids in preschools, hospitals, theaters, community groups, because I'm into that, because I want to grow with my audience. So our artists are not acknowledged because they're into money. They like money. It's a business thing, so they don't care about the audience, which is why theater and film is suffering. Film and television is suffering in this country because people are into money and they don't know how to make money. You make money because of your audience. If you have followers, then you'll get that job. But if you have none, then sorry, bye-bye. You're not selling, you're not selling. But if people see you on TV or in a film, they would say, oh, that person, he came to our school, he gave us lessons on this, and he was there, he was rubbing shoulders with us. And some guys would say, no, we were drinking with him, we share life with other people so that you can learn from them. Therefore, you will be one of the greatest people in the country. Yes.
So there's a concern that big companies and the government is not doing much for art. What's your input on that?
But there is a say that says the government and the big companies are doing nothing for the industry. But what I'm saying is we have a bad tendency of pointing a finger. But the first time you chose to be an artist, the government, you didn't tell the government that, okay, government, I want to be an artist. You made a choice alone. So don't expect anything. They owe you nothing. The business sector owes you nothing. The government owes you nothing. You owe yourself a favor and hard work. You must work your ass off until you get yourself to that level that you want to get yourself into. If you want to get yourself into first floor or to third floor, do it by yourself and don't expect the government to push you. The government knows nothing. You know where you want to get yourself to. So do not blame anybody. We have that tendency of blaming each other and saying, yeah, the government is not looking after us and all that. I don't say that, man.
Why that tendency of blaming the government in your thinking?
No, you see, other people think, but I think, we have this tendency. People think that because they participated in the struggle, internal struggle and external struggle, they are owed by somebody, especially the present government is owing them a lot. No, you were working for yourself. You were fighting for yourself. So you can't expect anything. You freed yourself and nobody freed you. You can't say ANC freed you or National Party, whatever organization that you go with. No. You freed yourself. For the fact that you lifted that stone and threw it to that koyok or that hippo, it means you wanted to free yourself. And if you didn't participate, it's none of our business. You didn't participate, that's fine. You knew why you didn't want to participate. So it's all about that. You should know that, okay, I do this for a certain purpose. So I threw stones, knowing that I will free myself. I am free. So sharp government, thank you for changing some of the things in the country, and that's it. So it's up to me now to create work for myself. And if there is a problem somewhere, somehow, maybe I'll join those who like pointing fingers and say the government, hey. But up to so far, I'm pushing with the same energy that I used during apartheid, and now I'm into democracy. Maybe I'm going towards freedom, I don't know. But I am going forward. I'm not going to stop. This is my career, and I'm a full-time artist. I'm committed, and I love it. Whether stormy or rainy, I will be part of the art.
Okay, there are two kinds of artists. Artists whom society calls them celebrities because they are all over, and artists that their faces are not being seen. And they feel that big artists, icons like you digest them as young artists. What's your input on that?
Well, our problem is we have that mentality, the apartheid mentality from the beginning. What happened was that it was instilled within us that we should have categories. We like grading other people. This is first grade, second grade and all that. And it doesn't work. You don't have a right to put a person at a certain level. You don't have a right to categorize. You don't have a right to judge. Do what you're here to do, Ndlamini. That's it. So people have a tendency of classifying, and that's very wrong, because when that person who likes classifying, you may find when you don't have a class where you classify yourself, you think you belong to all those classes, and that's where the confusion comes in. So I believe we have to start to lay a foundation of the artist and the film and television industry for ourselves, because the format that we're using now, we're still running this our industry same as Americans and all that, and our stories are told in a different style and all that. So let's establish our way, a way that we will use to tell our stories. Then everything will be fine. So we are copycats, Tina, basically. That is why. I used to call ourselves invertebrates, spineless people who copy things from other people. So that's very, very, very bad. But unfortunately, I'm a minority. I would like to operate things my way, and I've started. But that's not revolution, and that's not something that is anti-what not. It's a change that I see within me, and I will do it politely.
Josh, tell me something. Are you happy with the programs that SABC is delivering?
I am happy with the programs that SABC is delivering. It's just that it all depends who that is given to. If you give somebody who doesn't know how to tell the story, then you have a big problem. And if you give it to a big company, let's say a company, I'm not saying white, red, blue and all that, I'm not talking color, but I'm talking artistic. If you give it to somebody who understands that kind of life, it makes life easy for it to reflect on screen, because you've seen, you live in that environment. You cannot direct years or without knowing what's happening in the township. You can't read that. Some of things are not there for you to read. No, you have to see them. When the guys are tottering, are wagging their guns and all that, observe that and be part of it. So you can't direct something that you do not know and feel. You actually are a capitalist. A capitalist, yeah. You are into making money and using other people's stories. And funny enough, you see, I'll tell you now, coming to politics, and I'll go political a little bit, just to break a monotone. I've been straight, right? Politically, we have to learn that white people are doing our stories. They're doing all the Gazlam, Yizo and all that. So we have to, in return, we have to do their stories, their fears, when they stop at the robots and then locking the doors and think, oh my God, here's this kafir coming, they're going to break my window and all that. We must do those stories, get into their fears, because they're dealing with our fear. And we don't have, we can't run our industry with that. It's like we're fighting. No, we'll tell our own stories. We've been saying that for years. It doesn't help. All we have to do is to do white stories. Let's do their stories. They are doing our stories. Let's do stories. Let's exchange. And that is democracy to me. It makes life easy, 50-50. We owe each other nothing. Yeah. So that's that.
Okay, tell me. Do you see the future of show business? And if you see the future, what is the future? And what are the ways that's going to bring one beautiful storytelling in South Africa?
I see the future of artists and storytelling in South Africa. I see brightness, basically, that's all I see. I see the potential, and there is this song by Bob Marley that says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free your minds. That song says a lot. If you don't want to free your mind, bye-bye, we'll leave you behind. I'll give you the last 5 years. If you didn't make it, sorry, bye-bye. We are all on the same level. And you can't say white, you can't say black, you can't point fingers, you can't say blue, We are on the same level. We were all given a chance. This is 10 years of democracy. And then people were given a chance to prove themselves. They haven't. Sorry. After another 5 years, don't point fingers. It will be late. Make your life now. And you can't say you've started something, it didn't work. It means you were not positive. Start something and be positive. It will work, I promise you. Okay. I'll tell you, in this country, there are frustrated actors, there are angry artists, and there are happy artists, and there are moderate artists. And there are artists who do not care about the discipline and whatever that comes. They don't care, they just need money. So we are totally different, which is why there is nothing that is going to bring us together, because we are totally different. We are in segments. So those segments are impossible to come together because of our mindset. We're not thinking the same. Some of us are not thinking money, we're thinking our craft. There is passion. And And some would think about money, some would think about their frustration that, okay, I was frustrated by who and who, and I want to take it out on somebody else. Wrong. That's not the way. Let's give each other this craft in a very polite and calm manner, so that whoever receives it becomes blessed. You know, yeah, that's what I think. So in our hearts are not more than willing to give. I don't know why. It's very easy. Most of the artists have died with nothing. Yes, we understand. But what is it that we are doing to bring about change? How do we change this thing? We know. And artists are complaining about how much they're getting paid. And to me, it's not all about how much you're getting paid. It's how do you use that money? And that's me. Because most of the artists would tell you, no, okay, well, we don't have a burial scheme or something like that, society and all that. You do it yourself. We don't get pensions, the government, but you do it yourself. So prepare your future. You know the situation is like this. You know you're not going to get pension. You know you're not going to get buried. So prepare your burial. Have a funeral scale, funeral cover, and prepare your pension. And that's it. Stop complaining. Because when you get money, you become a big papa, you know. Chicks around you, you know, driving cars, you know, buying food and all that. But it doesn't work. At the end of the day, you are there alone. So know that we're not getting paid very well in this country, and that's not what you have to complain about. But what you have to complain about is the finger that you have to point to yourself and say, how do I use the money that I earn? It's as simple as that. So no complaints. We are all on the same wavelength. And I'll give you another 5 years. It's going to take us time to come together to lay this matter and say, okay, government, what? Because still, it's not going to change. Government could give us millions, rah, here's a million. But how do you use it? It's our problem.